I am so excited. I hope that the video has started. Oh, it says to close my other apps that I'm not using. Oh my goodness. You should have told me this before I started. Ugh. I don't know. Okay, I think we're good. I think I closed some of them. All right. Well, like the description says, I just wanted to quickly go over some instructions for Saturday's resume workshop. So Saturday, well, I was going to say morning. It's morning for me, but depending on what time zone you're in, it could be afternoon. It could be noon on the East Coast. But this Saturday, I'm teaching a live airline ready resume workshop, and I wanted to go over what the class is going to be about, and I also wanted to go over the instructions for the class. The instructions, if you've already registered, then hopefully you've logged in at abbeyunger.org/login, and once you log in, then you can go into the portal module thing, and it has a list of what you need to bring to the class. But I wanted to kind of quickly go over that now as well, and then also talk a little bit about what you can do to best prepare for the class, or what to expect in the class. I keep calling it a class. It's a workshop. And I'm trying to change I mean, that's what it's called. And also that's literally what it is, but I kind of default to class. So, but I'm not teaching just a class. This is a workshop. This is where the inspiration came from. I knew that offering something to help aspiring flight attendants edit, double check, create completely from scratch, update their resume so that it will get past the first step in the application process. I really wanted to create something to help aspiring flight attendants. And when Flight Attendant Career Connection first started, the very, very first product that we offered, and it was because someone reached out to me and asked me if I could rewrite their resume, was resume rewrites. That was the very first thing that I ever did. That was the first product and service that we offered, was resume rewrites. And so we did that, it's me. I offered resume rewrites for the next 7 years or so. But then last year, JetBlue was opening, the same time another airline was opening, and the resume rewrites and resume reviews, which were the two services that I was offering for resumes at the time, there was just too many. And I literally couldn't, there were too many. In fact, I actually sold too many and then ended up behind, and it was bad. It was bad. So I went ahead and stopped doing resume. I just stopped doing them, and there's some free videos on YouTube that I've made. But I knew that the most important part of the process is making sure that you're ready to interview. I knew that that was the most important part, so that's where I made the decision to continue to support on the interview side and, you know, hold back a little bit on the resume side. But I knew that I still wanted to offer something that would be, that would still be a tool. So that's where this class came from. It's been about a year that I've been working on it, thinking about it, swirling it around in my brain. And this is the thing that I'm most excited about. The workshop is about an hour. So this is not a 9-12 module resume rewriting class or anything like that. What it is you will, once you register, you get a list of a couple of things that you need. It's just a few things. So your 10 years of work history, any kind of like awards or anything that you've won, you don't have to get them. You just have to like make note of them. You don't have to like bring your certificates to the workshop. But you'll want your 10 years of work history, volunteer work that you've done. You just sort of want to like quickly brainstorm out your work history, volunteer work, any kind of like awards that you won. Like on my resume, when I was applying to be a flight attendant, I was Teller of the Month in February 2014 at Bank of America, and that that award ended up on my resume. It's just a little like, oh look, I won a little thing. So that's all we're talking about as far as awards go. That, and then you also need Microsoft Word, or you can use Google Docs, which is free if that's what you have. I'm going to be using Microsoft Word for the workshop, but Google Docs works great. And then you'll need to sign up for a free Grammarly account. Grammarly, they have a paid account, but then they also have a free account, a free account, and you need to sign up for one of those. Grammarly.com is probably the website, but it is like a double, triple check, spell check, grammar checker. So it's more smarter. It's more smarter than Word. So it helps you to sound smarter too. But it catches things like if a word is spelled right, but it's the wrong word. Grammarly will catch that. And so I'll show you how to use Grammarly. So those are the things that you'll need to participate in the workshop. If you can't get it all together by Saturday morning, you can still come to the workshop and we can still work together, and then you'll just fill in once you get the missing pieces. Or if you can't make it live on Saturday, you will still have access to the replay. So everyone who registers for the class will also have lifetime access to the replay as well. So what is actually going to happen in the workshop? Like I said, most exciting part of it for me is it's a 1 hour workshop. It's about an hour. It's probably going to go a little over because I'm kind of long-winded, but my goal is 1 hour where we can sit down together, we will open up our file, we will format, we will build the framework, and we will fill in the blanks, and we will fill in the resume, and then we will proofread it. I'll give you some tips on proofreading, and then we will talk about the things that need to be in each job description, and I'll basically just walk you through the whole thing. It's a workshop. We'll work together, and you will put your heading in, and then you will build your framework, and then you will put in your job descriptions, and then you will do your bullet points, and then you will do this and that and this and that. And then at the end, there you go, resume done in about an hour. So that's why this is a workshop and not a class. This replay will be available. I'm making this class. I'm teaching it live on Saturday, but then it is going to be available in what is that? What does Mr. Wonderful say? It'll be available moving forward. So this is it's a new class, it's a new workshop, it's a new way for aspiring flight attendants to write and create their own resumes. This will also allow you, if you end up getting hired by an airline that's more of a pit stop on the way to your dream airline and you need to update your resume, you can update it now. You'll now have the tools to update it. Here's some other things that you'll get in with the resume workshop when you register. So you will get the training, of course, where I'll walk you through, and then you'll also get it's a list of over 20 job descriptions, and it's what I use. It's kind of like my cheat sheet that I use when I rewrite resumes as the starting point. So if you're a nurse, there's some things that are standard for all nurses that are relevant to the flight attendant career, or a teacher, or someone who works retail or works in food service or is a former flight attendant. And so I'm going to, as part of the workshop, you'll receive over 20 of those job descriptions that you can use as the beginning template. So of course everyone, y'all didn't all win Teller of the Month in February, so even if you worked at the bank, right, you can't, we're not going to just like copy and paste, but we're going to use it as a template. Like, oh yeah, okay, that was my safety, that was my teamwork, and then I also did this, and then I also did this, and I also did this, and you can add those in. Okay, so hopefully that kind of makes sense, but it will give you a head start. That's part of the reason this is going to be so quick on Saturday, or whenever you end up taking the resume class, workshop. It's not a class, it's a workshop. Whenever you take the workshop. And then you'll also get a list of verbs because, which are action words, right? So because you want to try to start your bullet points in your job descriptions with action words, with verbs. Created, or well, we wouldn't do the past tense, but create, support, organize, administer, lead, coach, provide. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a list of verbs. So it's kind of like a way to, it's similar to a thesaurus of verbs, so that you can go through and you can have enough different words that you're not just saying like, you know, provide, and then you can, you know what I mean. So I'll show you how to use it. but you get that. And then and so I'm really excited about the class. We're gonna have, if you can make it live, then you'll be able to ask me questions live. You'll be able to we'll be able to brainstorm and troubleshoot together. I'm also going to address what to do if you've been a stay-at-home mom with no traditional background, work experience. What to do if you have a lot of work experience and you're like got a 15-page resume. How are we going to fix that? What to do if you don't have experience that you feel like is the right experience. We're going to talk about those things, and then we'll also talk even a little bit about if you're military experience, because all of those acronyms need to be expanded out and then translated into civilian. So we can talk we'll talk a little bit about that too. And these are just things that I've seen over the years in my resume rewrites, things that I've seen that have been challenges or stumbling blocks. And another reason I'm excited about this workshop and the fact that it's so quick is because I know that sometimes creating a resume that you feel like is good enough, or you know, the best resume, or the resume that's going to stand out, or I've got to get my resume perfect, I've got to get my resume right before I can apply. And that's not true. Most airlines run your resume through a software system and nobody's eyeballs even see them. So it's just looking for keywords. And then it does end up in front of a human at some point. So you can't just like write a bunch of keywords on the paper and just be like, here we go. So, I mean, it will end up in front of a human. But sometimes, a lot of times, I have people asking me, how can I make sure my resume will stand out? And that's not the goal of your resume. Your goal is not to stand out. It's not like it's sitting on some hiring manager's desk like back in the day and we're like, ooh, and you got to use the nice paper and like, oh, wow, this one has a colored border. This one stands out. Let me look at this one. It's just going through a computer system. And then once it goes through the computer system and you get your interview invitation, now it's up to you. It's up to you. You have the opportunity to now shine. You're not hired on your resume. Your resume is not what gets you hired. Period. End of story. Southwest says this all the time, and all the airlines do it. They hire flight attendants based on personality, and then they train for skill. So your background gives them a snapshot into what you're good at and what you like to do, which speaks to your personality more than your experience. And we know this because you don't have to have flight attendant experience to become a flight attendant. So they're not looking for that kind of experience. They're looking for people who have some experience dealing with situations that are similar to situations that may come up in the flight attendant career. That just gives you a head start, but they're going to train you. They're going to train you to be a flight attendant. They're not looking to hire flight attendants. They're looking to hire people who they can train and craft and mold into good flight attendants. And so that's why your resume's job is just to get you in the door so that you can show up with all of your personality and shine. Okay, that's all I wanted to share with you today. If you would like to come to the resume workshop, if you're seeing this after Saturday, then you can still check the description, because once I teach this live, the class will still be available. The price will go up. Right now there's an intro price on it. It's going to go up after we teach the class and after it gets all bundled up and packaged up, all beautified. But if you are willing to be a guinea pig with me and come to the live class the first time that I'm teaching it, then you get the introductory pricing. Plus, you get to ask me questions. We get to work together live, which will be really fun too. But if you're watching this after Saturday, August 6th, then still please check the description, and you can have and you can learn about how you can still take the workshop and have your resume ready in about an hour. So I can't wait. See you on Saturday. Talk to you later.